He is 2-5. The 4-horse is Big Courage. This is the Cinderella and the family affair horse. Bought for only $3,000, owned by the mother, trained by the father, ridden by the daughter. 2 races on a sloppy track against easier competition. Both impressive driving victories. The 5-horse is wilder than ever, and he ran his best race last out when he rallied from 10th to be 3rd in traffic just 2 weeks ago. Now, the 5 horses that you've just seen have competed in 42 races combined. Here's number 6 coming onto the screen now. That's Sir Otto, who is making a remarkable 24th career start himself today. Only 2 wins, though, and he was a badly beaten 6th last out in the Jim Beam Stakes. Well, that's the field for the 1991 Bluegrass. Jim?
And now as the rain falls a little bit harder, let's bring...
Probably going to be a little bit of a concern since neither of these 2 favorites have ever run on anything other than a fast track. And another major concern becomes pace, or rather the lack of it. And of the 2 favorites, Fly So Free probably will be bothered the least by that situation. His tactical speed gives him a versatility which stretch running Strike the Gold doesn't possess. And speed in the Bluegrass has practically been mandatory in the last decade. The very presence of Strike the Gold, a horse who's eligible for non-winners other than maiden or claimant, typifies the attitude towards Fly So Free all over the country. Because he does not draw off from his competition, because he does loaf in the stretch, he's not intimidating. And since there is no dominant speed again today, he may suddenly find himself out there alone on the lead a little early and go back, Jim, to being tempted to display that lackadaisical attitude that's almost gotten him in trouble.
We're going to see in just a few minutes. You know, getting to the Kentucky Derby is definitely not half the fun. It's a long, treacherous road strewn with injury, illness, and, well, misplaced hopes. Consider Scotty Schulhopper. He's the trainer of Fly So Free, and last Saturday morning it looked like he might have a 3-horse entry at Louisville. The 2 of them faced tough assignments that day.
I hope that I wake up on Derby morning feeling as good as I feel this morning. It's a great feeling to have 1 horse to go to the Derby with, and to have 3 possibilities, almost unbelievable. You have to have anything going into a race. I think any 1 of the 3 horses have it all.
Fly So Free had the day off last Saturday. The Derby favorite was awaiting today's race at Keeneland. But stablemate Scan was in California with Scotty's son Randy, about to run in the Santa Anita Derby. This race would test his credentials for Louisville. Scotty himself was at Gulfstream with Cahill Road, an overwhelming favorite in the preview stakes.
He acts like class, doesn't he? See how they break and ride him the way you find him. It's up to you. I've done all the damage I can do. Good luck. Walks in like a champ.
Thank you.
Well, Cahill Road had a decent start. Scotty was pleased. But watch now as the horses bump going into the first turn there. That changed Scotty's mood somewhat. On the backstretch, Cahill Road was shuffled back to last in the small 5-horse field. Nothing seemed to be going right. In the stretch, jockey Craig Perrette moved Cahill Road to the rail. He was trapped there as they came to the finish, and he was no better than 3rd at the wire.
Makes a difference.
Later, Scotty and his wife Stephanie settled back to watch our telecast of the Santa Anita Derby. Scan was his horse in that one, and again the news was not good. Scan was 7th on the backstretch, never challenged, and eventually finished in the middle of the pack. His Derby dreams were over, but Scotty was still hopeful.
That's horse racing. It's a tough job getting a horse to the Kentucky Derby, and I think, you know, we still got a shot, and Fly So Free's doing good.
Well, there is Scotty in the stands today. He tells us that Cahill Road definitely will run next week in the Wood Memorial. That horse, by the way, is a full brother to Unbridled, the winner of last year's Kentucky Derby, and is owned by the same lady, 93-year-old Frances Genter. Well, at Keeneland today, we have to think about Bill Shoemaker, the winningest jockey of all time. Bill, as you know, was critically injured last Monday in an automobile accident in California. He won the Bluegrass Stakes 6 times, more often than any other rider. The latest report on his condition, and we got it about an hour ago, is critical and unchanged. We hope, however, that Bill is able to watch today's race with us. He faces an uphill battle, but he's done that before. In addition to being one of the finest people in racing, he's also one of the toughest. We'll bet on him to win again.
The thrill
thrill of a lifetime. The Kentucky Derby, May 4th on ABC Sports.
Bluegrass Stakes brought to you by your John Deere Lawn Care dealers. A look at the odds. A final look at the odds for this contest. 6 horses strike the gold at 5-2. No Work All Play 9-1. Fly So Free at 1-5, a heavy favorite. Big Courage at 25-1. Wilder Than Ever 15-1, and Sir Otto at 40-1. Time now to go upstairs to Dave Johnson. Dave.
And Strike the Gold is in. Chris Antley looking for his 3rd winner of the afternoon. Here's the 2-horse No Work All Play with Shane Sellers, and a look at the stakes and track record. None of the horses wear mudcocks. The jockeys wearing black ribbons on the back of their helmets in honor of 20-year-old Rodney Dickens, who was killed in a spill at Sportsman's Park on Sunday. Dickens, a native of Owensboro, Kentucky, about 300 miles from here, had ridden at Keeneland only last Friday afternoon. And here is Big Courage moving into line. Tammy Fox. All of these are 3-year-olds. All carry 121 pounds. That's 5 pounds less than the horses will carry in the Kentucky Derby. 1 1/8 today's distance. The Derby 1 1/4 miles. And the last horse, Sir Otto, ready to move into line. All set. And they're off toward the inside. No Work All Play, quickly taking the early lead. There goes Fly So Free charging up on the outside. Big Courage is racing 3rd. Sir Otto is 4th. Strike the Gold scoots through and saves ground. 5th along the inside. Wilder Than Ever 6th and last, about 5 lengths off the lead as they swing around the clubhouse turn. No Work All Play has the lead by a length as the favorite Fly So Free on the outside is right there in striking position. It's 5 lengths farther back. Big Courage is racing 3rd 1/2. On the inside, Strike the Gold is 4th and inching up. Then a gap of 4 back to Sir Otto, followed on the inside by Wilder Than Ever. A quick early fraction considering the track condition is good. 23 and change, and down the backstretch it's still No Work All Play, being stalked by Fly So Free with Jose Santos on the outside, and Santos has plenty of horse left. It's 6 lengths farther back, and on the outside, Strike the Gold is racing 3rd by a head. Big Courage along the inside is 4th, and then it's 4 lengths back to the trailers. On the outside, Sir Otto and Wilder Than Ever. Now around the turn. No Work All Play draws clear by a length and a quarter. There's 3/8 of a mile to go, and now Fly So Free on the outside charges up, and Strike the Gold is in gear 3rd and moving on the outside. There's a 1/4 of a mile to go. No Work All Play at the rail. Between horses, Fly So Free, and on the outside, Strike the Gold. Some tight quarters at the top of the stretch, and Strike the Gold with Chris Antley roars up and grabs the lead. 1/8 of a mile to go. Strike the Gold in front. Fly So Free on the inside, and down the stretch they come. Here comes Strike the Gold in front by 3 lengths. Fly So Free 2nd, and No Work All Play 3rd. It was Strike the Gold winning it, taking this year's running of the Bluegrass Stakes by 2.5 lengths. Fly So Free was 2nd, and Jose Santos got into this horse pretty good through the stretch. He hit him about 7 times with the whip, but it was the 1 horse, Strike the Gold, trained by Nick Zito, who didn't change his style of running. He came from behind and is the unofficial winner in 1 minute, 48 2/5 seconds.
Stakes race. And so Strike the Gold, a horse who had only won 1 race in his life, had only appeared in 1 other stakes race, and that was the Florida Derby, has won the Bluegrass Stakes, and the picture for the Kentucky Derby is muddy.
He gave very good indication in the Florida Derby that he might be able to run Fly So Free down if he had another chance. He was here early. It may have been the key. He was here early. He had works over this racetrack. He got very acquainted with this Keeneland racetrack, and today he would everything in order and came down through the stretch. 1 going away, and looks good for 1.25 miles to me.
So what does this do for the Derby?
Well, certainly everyone who was suspect of Fly So Free is looking now and nodding their head, and I'm sure the connections of Dinard and Hansel are loading their van right now for Louisville.
We got Dinard, we've got Hansel, who won the Jim Beam Stakes. We've got Best Pal, and next week we'll see Meadow Star.
And a big race from Kyle's
right now,
Man last week.
Excuse me, a replay quickly with Dave Johnson.
Well, Strike the Gold always had the leaders in sight, and take a look now on the outside. as Chris Antley tips the colt whose sire was Alydar, who won this race by 13 lengths. Doesn't matter if he didn't win by 13, but Strike the Gold on to victory here. And Nick Zito, the trainer, who is the architect of this upset, said that he wasn't going to send him to the front, but this horse was not as far back as he usually is, but he was off the pace, and here he comes through the wire to win it easily. Fly So Free finishing second, and No Work All Play was third. The 1-5 favorite Fly So Free will probably go on to the Kentucky Derby, but not with as much luster, and there'll probably be more company in the starting gate.
Well, and there was a reaction of owner Giles Brophy hugging trader Scotty Schulhofer. The result is still unofficial. Unofficially, Strike the Gold, Fly So Free, No Work, All Play, and we'll be back.
I mean, when I saw him and my horse saw another horse coming, he tried to catch him, but he can't grab any good in the track.
In a word, was he tired at the end?
He's not tired, really. He's a sleeper more.
Okay, thank you very much, Jose. Let's go over to Charlesley now.
I've got a large and happy gathering here involved with the winner. This is Nick Zito, the trainer, Mark Cheney, the veterinarian, who, Nick, he gave you a little advice, huh?
Yeah, Doc always says that the bluegrass is God's country, and he's right. He wanted me to come down here and get the water and the grass for this horse, and he's absolutely right. And the boss on the right, Mr. Brophy, he says, go ahead and do it. Go get yourself a Derby winner, so maybe he's right.
Don't want to leave out the important man here, Giles Brophy. Congratulations.
Well, thanks a lot. I tell you, it's one of the greatest thrills of my life.
We'll see you again in 3 weeks, and we'll go back to Jim McKay right now.
Okay, here is the official order finished now. Strike the Gold, the winner, once again, and it is official. Fly So Free, No Work, All Play, Big Courage, Serato, and Wilder Than Ever. Next week, the Wood Memorial in New York. The filly, Meadow Star, going against the now sensational horse from Darby, Dan Kyle's our man, and, of course, Cahill Road. Back to you.